Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be talking about my top 10 liveries of the 2018 Verizon IndyCar Series season. We're going to start things off with some honorable mentions. Ed Jones's number 10 NTT Data Honda that he ran at the Indy GP, Elio Castroneves' number 3 Pennzoil Chevy, Simon Pagenaud's number 22 DXC Technology Chevy, the number 32 Junko Chevy, Ed Carpenter / Jordan King's number 20 Fuzzy's Vodka Chevy. And now on to the top 10 list. Number 10, Takuma Sato's number 30 MyJack Honda. I really like the chrome blue on this car on the front wing and on the engine cover. I also like the little black in front of the driver, and I also like the way the white's used to break up each color. And I also overall like the design of this car, as it's not just some boring thing that they just came up with out of nowhere. Now on to number 9, Alexander Rossi's number 27 Napa Honda. The winner of the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, Alexander Rossi's Napa Honda. I like the way that the blue and yellow looks to be perfectly distributed throughout the car. As we see in other racing series that Napa sponsors in, the cars usually go with a majority blue with little to no yellow on the car. I really feel like this car uses just enough yellow to make this one of the brighter and better paint schemes of the Napa cars. I really like the yellow being used at the top of the car, then being broken up by the blue, and then the yellow returning on the tips of the front wing and right in front of the rear tires. I also like the way that the Napa logo wraps around the tub of the car, with the words for Napa being in the right spot on this car. I also like how the yellow helps this car stick out, considering there's a good majority of blue cars on the IndyCar Series grid. Number 8, Tony Kanaan's number 14 ABC Supply Chevy. I always have a really soft spot for the AJ Foyt cars. I really like the way they design the machines. I really like how all three colors of the red, white, and blue are perfectly distributed on this car, and the design isn't something really crazy. I picked this car over the Mateus Lace one just for the red front. I feel like the red front looks a lot better than the blue front. The one thing I really like about both AJ Foyt cars is the inversion of the paint schemes, where the stuff that's red on Tony Kanaan's car is blue on Mateus Lace's car, and the stuff that's blue on Tony Kanaan's car is red on Mateus Lace's car. Overall, I like the livery of the AJ Foyt cars, because when you go to the race, you know those are the Foyt cars. Now on to number 7, Robert Wickens' number 6 Lucas Oil Honda. The first of 2 entries from the Schmidt-Peterson team. I really like the way these cars are designed, where the top is one color from the driver and the side is black for the drivers. I really like the shiny red finish of this car, and I really like the way that the sun or the lights hit this car to help it stick out in person at the track. I also like the way the red's used underneath the tub to just show a little bit more color. Number 6, James Hinchcliffe's number 5 Aero Electronics Honda. The second of the Schmidt cars on this list. I really like the gold on James Hinchcliffe's car. It's one of the better liveries of the IndyCar series. I also like its ability to stick out on the grid, considering it's the only car that uses gold as a majority of its livery on track. Overall, I picked this one over the Wickens car, simply because there aren't that many gold race cars in pretty much any series in racing. And I also like the different design they use on the side of the front wing plates. Now on to the top 5. Number 5, Graham Rahal's number 15 United Rentals Honda. I really like the design of this car with that shiny blue that they carry over from the Sato car, and I like how they didn't go too over patriotic with this car, with only the back of the rear wing having the stripes from the flag, and his number being the flag, which I think is one of the better number designs in all of the IndyCar series. I also like the way that the black is incorporated in this car on the underside of the car and on the front and rear wings. Lastly, I like the way that the white evenly breaks up this car and makes it one of my favorite liveries of the Verizon IndyCar series. Number 4, Will Power's number 12 Verizon Chevy. The winner of the 2018 Indianapolis 500. This is one of my favorite liveries because I like the overall simplicity of this. I like the red highlights on the mirrors and the lines going throughout the car, and I like the silver. I feel like it shows that it's like a silver bullet race car. I also like how they really haven't changed the paint scheme in the past couple of years, as I've seen this car win back-to-back times at Pocono. I feel like it really gives that Will Power identity to go, hey, that silver Verizon car, that's Will Power. Even when they all run the Verizon cars like they did to Indy GP with Newgarden and Castroneves, I feel like it's the easiest to spot Power's car with those red mirrors because they're the brightest thing on the car. Now to our top 3. Number 3, Scott Dixon's number 9 PNC Bank Honda. Scott Dixon's PNC Honda is on this list because I really like the overall design of this car and I really like the colors. The light accents of the white used on the wing and around the driver help break this paint scheme up that it's not just a blue and orange race car. I also like the transition of this car going from orange to blue to orange, then back to blue for the rear wing. I also like how the orange helps this car stick out, as there aren't many orange Indy cars, if any orange Indy cars, currently running on the series. Overall for me, if it's a blue and orange race car, I usually like it considering I'm a Broncos fan and that's their color. So pretty much if you put blue and orange on a race car and it's not some wacky design, I'll pretty much like it. Number 2, Simon Pagenaud's number 22 Menard Chevy. The brightest livery of the IndyCar series considering the car is that highlighter yellow. When you see this car in person with that bright highlighter yellow, it just shoots by you and makes the car look even faster than if it was just a standard, let's say, black livery. Overall, I like the brightness because you can point out, hey, that's the Menards car from a mile away and you'll never miss that thing coming by you. Now to number 1. Number 1, Sebastian Bourdais number 18 Sealmaster Honda. Sebastian Bourdais Sealmaster Honda is one of my favorite livery in the IndyCar series this season because I like the evenly distributed colors of the highlighter yellow and the black throughout the car with the little red accents to highlight Sealmaster. I like that this is just a complete radical change from his car last year where it was just red and white. I also like the caution tape design that goes around the front wing and is on the rear wing and goes on the underside of the tub to come back to that rear wing. I also like the transition from top to bottom on this car where it goes from black to yellow and back to the black. I also like the little front design piece of the car where it gives it eyes in the mouth, giving this a torpedo feel to the car. I also like the way that the red is incorporated into the car with the Sealmaster logo and the numbers, helping it stick out and it doesn't blend in with the car. So that'll do it for my top 10 favorite IndyCar liveries of 2018. Leave your favorites in the comment section below and thanks for watching.